Emmanuel's father should have been in prison long before the 7-month-old disappeared. KTLA's Alina Bovian has the new developments from Riverside.
Mike and Cher, good evening. That's right. They did hold this press conference today to shine some new details in the case. However, prosecutors would not say exactly what evidence they have against the couple.
It's appropriate to have a press conference because it was the defendants in this case that had a press conference first.
Riverside County District Attorney Mike Hastron taking to the podium this morning, nearly 2 weeks after Jake and Rebecca Harrow told the public someone allegedly kidnapped their 7-month-old baby boy Emmanuel outside a sporting goods store in Yucaipa. Now, there are new reports the child's father confessed to the murder while behind bars to a fellow inmate who was actually an undercover informant. The new intel is courtesy of News Nation reporter Brian Enton, but authorities this morning denying this.
I can tell you that that's not true.
Jake Harrow and his wife Rebecca have been arrested and charged with the child's death and making a false police report, even though the body of Emmanuel has yet to be found. Investigators believe the 7-month-old was repeatedly physically abused and likely succumbed to those injuries.
We have to understand what you're dealing with is an experienced child abuser.
Officials saying this morning the child's father should have gone to prison due to previously abusing another child he had with his ex-wife in 2018. But the judge in that case granted him probation. Authorities said the child in that case had been left bedridden.
And had that case been successfully handled how it should have been, Emmanuel would still be with us today.
Court documents show that investigators believe the baby may have been dead up to 9 days before the mother claims he was abducted on August 14th. Prosecutors say the child was allegedly killed sometime between then and August 5th.
We have a pretty strong indication of where the remains of baby Emmanuel are. That investigation is ongoing at this time.
Now, we are told that the couple, they are due back in court next Thursday, September 4th, and they both have a bail set at $1 million each. In Riverside, I'm Alina Bovian, KTLA 5 News.
A Lancaster man accused in the murder of his wife has surrendered to authorities in Peru. The L.A. County Sheriff's Department says 36-year-old Yosimar Cabrera was briefly detained there after fleeing the U.S. with his children, but was released pending further investigation. Weeks ago, Cabrera was seen on security video dragging something heavy through his apartment complex. Days later, the body of his wife, Shayla, was found in the Angeles National Forest.
Too many times, women in our community, and to a lesser extent men, are being abused. They're afraid to speak up because of their immigration status. And that's exactly what happened with Shayla. She was afraid to speak up. And she was afraid to speak up because she thought she would be deported and her kids would be taken away.
Shayla fled Peru in 2023 and was here in the U.S. on political asylum. The extradition of Cabrera could take some time. The National Domestic Violence Hotline number is on your screen. That's 800-799-7233.
An entire Minneapolis community in shock and despair tonight after the shooting at a Catholic school that killed 2 children and wounded 17 others. Tonight, investigators are looking into the history of the heavily armed suspect. The children were shot as they prayed in the pews at the school's church.
The shooter died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, but left behind writings and YouTube videos that may reveal a motive for the mass shooting. Samantha Cortese is tracking the developments in the newsroom.
It breaks my heart, makes me sick to my stomach.
Horror at Annunciation School, a Catholic pre-K through 8th grade in Minneapolis, Minnesota. A shooter sprayed bullets through stained glass windows while children prayed in the first all-school mass of the school year. 2 children, ages 8 and 10, dead, killed in the pews.
Dozens of officers that responded to this scene. Many of them are deeply traumatized by what they saw.
14 other students aged 6 to 15 and 3 adults in their 80s were wounded, but are expected to survive.
Instead of that joy and that curiosity and that learning, they were met with evil and horror and death.
Police say the shooter is Robin Westman, formerly Robert, who, according to court records, changed their name at age 17. The move co-signed by his mother, who locals say worked at Annunciation School and Church for many years before retiring. Police say the shooter was carrying 3 weapons, a rifle, shotgun, and pistol. noting they fired all of them into the church before killing themselves outside. Police say Westman legally purchased all 3 weapons.
I was shocked. I said there's no way that could be gunfire. There was so much of it.
30 minutes after the shooting, a video depicting an apparent manifesto-style document was posted on YouTube from an account believed to be associated with Westman. Words written with a marker on weapons, including the names of other school shooters, anti-Semitic sentiment, and calls to kill President Trump. The video depicted target practice with the face of Jesus, along with pages of writings in Russian, some of which translates to the writer saying they are a soldier and demon, plus a blueprint drawing of Annunciation Catholic Church. The narrator then stabbing the page, saying this is where they would die.
This was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. The sheer cruelty and cowardice of firing into a church full of children is absolutely incomprehensible.
Here locally, LA Archdiocese released a statement saying they will pray for the victims and continue to review and implement safety protocols with local law enforcement here in Southern California. In the newsroom, Samantha Cortese, KTLA 5 News.
3 suspects are still at large tonight after a shooting in South LA that wounded 5 people as they stood in front of a local market. At least 1 is in critical condition tonight. That gunfire erupted yesterday afternoon at a strip mall near Manchester and Figueroa. Police believe the attack was gang-related. Mayor Karen Bass and LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell are vowing to increase the police presence in the area.
3 suspects are under arrest after deputies say they opened fire during a pursuit last night. Deputies set up a perimeter near South Zamora Avenue and East 139th Street in Compton after the gunfire, and that's where the suspects were barricaded before being taken into custody. They were wanted in connection with a deadly shooting on Long Beach Boulevard.
2 SoCal medical workers have been officially charged with assaulting federal officers and interfering during immigration raid in Ontario in July. Jose Ortega and Danielle Davila were taken into federal custody after coming to the defense of a man who they say ran into the surgical clinic where they were working. ICE agents say Ortega and Davila assaulted officers, blocked vehicles, locked doors, even called police to falsely report a kidnapping. If convicted, they could face a maximum sentence of 8 years in federal prison.
Diving at LA's 2028 Olympic Games may move to Pasadena rather than Exposition Park. Organizers propose the venue change to the Rose Bowl Aquatic Center to, quote, address athlete safety concerns and reduce operational complexities in the Exposition Park zone. The Rose Bowl Aquatic Center has a pool that already meets Olympic diving standards and requires fewer improvements ahead of the Summer Games.
Rapper Cardi B on the hot seat today in a civil trial where she's accused of attacking a security guard in Beverly Hills. It happened at a doctor's office in 2018. The singer says the guard, Amani Ellis, was filming her against her will at a top-secret pregnancy checkup. A face-to-face confrontation quickly heated up. Ellis claims Cardi B cursed her out, spit on her, and scratched her face. On the stand today, the star testified she was angry but never laid a finger on Ellis, who was quickly fired.
I feel like my privacy was completely being violated. I wouldn't want to be anything that has to do with my medical records or anything. Even if I do cosmetic surgery, I don't want people